2003, you're diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Battled through, start doing treatment in '06. First of all, what was that experience like for you? But then also being vulnerable enough and open enough to share it with us and allow us in with your journey.
It's how many people out there? I mean,
I lost my mom to cancer in '07.
I mean, you get into any room and ask people, and when I speak, I do that too. When I'm going to talk about this, just give me a show of hands if your life has been touched somehow by that, and it's a close friend, or it's a family member, or it's they themselves. And so, when I got that word, for 3 years, I really didn't have to do anything because you could look at me and not see and say nothing's wrong. So only a few people knew. But then, in 2006, my lymph nodes start swelling up, and it's like, okay, I'm going to have to tell everybody what's going on. And then the thing about cancer is the uncertainty is one thing that really gets to you.
Yeah.
Because something is going on, you don't know where this is going to take you.
I know you won't
but
be,
once a doctor tells you, all right, you've got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it's this kind of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and you learn a lot about, I thought there was just one. No, there's a bunch of different ones. And here's how we're going to treat it. Then you put your head down and go.
Yeah.
Then you lean on your faith, your family, your friends, and you get through it.
Right.
And so, I did 6 cycles of chemo there, and went into remission, came back on the air, and I've been in remission from non-Hodgkin's since 2006.
Congratulations.
And then, and here's the thing. I mean, I had prostate cancer 2 years ago. So I was like, I wasn't done with it, but the thing that's different, guys, is that when my wife and I sat down with that doctor in 2003 and got the word that first time, and you can't believe the words you're hearing.
Right.
And then you can't believe that you're in this infusion thing in 2006 and looking at all these folks who have cancer, and you're all hooked up and you're all doing these drips. And then in 2019, when I got that word, and she and I were sitting across from a doctor, and it was like, we've been here, we've done this, we're fixing to do it again. And for that, it was surgery. It wasn't any kind of chemo, but it was just like, okay, well, we're going to do whatever we have to do, and we will get through this. And without my faith, I don't. Look, I had a pastor who told me, it's just like back then when you're kind of shaking your fist at God and saying, why me? Why is this happening? And he's like, hey, look, you trust God, period. And I mean, I'm not trying to turn this into church. But that's the foundation of my life.
Right.
Not I'm going to trust God if this turns out the way I want it to, or when this happens. I'm just going to trust God, period. He's going to take me someplace through this. It's going to make me a better man.
Right.
He's going to open my eyes to something. And one thing that's opened my eyes to in terms of cancer is that when you get it, it brings with it an opportunity and a responsibility to help the next person through it. I can't tell you how many times people have called me and said, hey, I got a buddy who's starting chemo. Can you call him? Or can you drop him an email?
You never know what that means to him.
You don't. And it's all about hitting the send button or just getting on the phone.
Yeah.
I had one of those this week. I just called this guy. He didn't know I was calling, but a friend of his had called and said, hey, he read your book and he did this, and it was like, hey, John, how you doing? Ernie Johnson. Wow, really? I said, how we feeling? We're good. I'm a little scared. It's like, let's talk about it. And then you wind up swapping stories for 20 minutes and saying, you're going to get through this thing, man. And so people did it for me. I'm trying to do it for people. It's like there's always going to be folks in that club that nobody wants to be in. That membership, I wish that membership would dwindle down to the point where you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But it keeps on going. And so every time some new member gets in that club, and you can call them and say, it's going to be okay.
Means a lot.
It's going to be difficult maybe at times, but it's going to be okay.